You guys are a big part of it, whether you like it or not. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Just another struggling writer. The Beleaguered Authors one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. Well, today I am here to announce something that will come as no surprise to anyone who's been following along with my channel since the spring. And that is a personal writing challenge that I am extending to the community, which I am calling Finish Your Book Fall. Now, like I said, if you've been following along with my channel for a while, you've probably heard me mention wanting to kick off this community event called Finish Your Book Fall. And I'll be upfront and say that I did not come up with that name. I remember seeing it around Twitter many years ago, and then when I Googled it, I did come up with a hashtag on Instagram as well, but I wasn't able to find who coined the term or when it started or if it was anything more than a hashtag. So if you know anything more about it, please let me know. I'd love to give credit where it's due. But in the spring, after the final demise of National Novel Writing Month was announced, I talked on this channel about how while the organization of NaNoWriMo deserved to die, the idea around it, the community challenge aspect, and the push that organization originally gave writers to start writing their novel was ultimately a good one. And I thought that we as a community would miss that aspect of it. Which is not to say that NaNoWriMo was the be-all end-all of writing challenges. Many authors completely ignored it. Others had their own versions of the writing challenge, and still more participated but acknowledged its flaws. And in the last couple of years, writers and creators have been stepping up to kind of fill the void of what NaNoWriMo should be, which to me is an event where writers from across the world can come together and kind of rally around each other as they attempt to write their novel. I am no exception to that. After NaNoWriMo announced its final closure, I thought back on my experience with Finish Your Book Fall and how fun it would be to step in and fill that void that NaNoWriMo was leaving behind. But you may be asking, what does that even mean? What is Finish Your Book Fall? Well, to me, it is a seasonal writing challenge to finish your book. Whatever that may mean for you. If it means starting and finishing your book, just finishing this part of the process that you're at, be that a draft or edits or querying or anything in between. That's the great thing I think about this idea, is that it's flexible for every person who may want to participate. Something else I like about this idea over Nano is that it's longer, and so it gives you a more realistic time frame to start and finish a novel. We all know that 50,000 words is a huge chunk, but it is rarely a full-length novel anymore. And so the idea that you could write 50,000 words in November and be ready to move on to draft 2 is not often the case, especially for people like me who write fantasy. A lot of times 50,000 words was barely half, and so it didn't feel quite the same as starting and finishing a novel, which was what NaNoWriMo originally intended. So with Finish Your Book Fall, you've got a longer time frame, which gives participants more flexibility with how they want to complete the challenge. If they want to start and finish a book in the season of fall, they have more time to do it in, and without having to crunch as much as you did in November when NaNoWriMo was in its heyday. You also might be asking, Carrie, hasn't fall already started? It is well into September. I am actually going off of the classical version of fall, which starts on September 22nd usually and ends around December 21st. That's 3 whole months to get as much writing done as you desire and try and finish your book. Now, while Finish Your Book Fall started as a hashtag in a way to just kind of keep up with each other as everyone moved through the challenge, I wanted to expand that idea and make it more of a community event. Unfortunately, I am socially awkward, I am a chronic lurker, and I am really bad at making friends and connections with people, and I just came off of a huge mental slump, which means I didn't actually do any of the legwork to make this the community event I envisioned. That being said, I do understand that this will probably be more of a me challenge, but I do hope that anyone who is interested in this idea and is looking for extra motivation as we move into the month of fall with the darker winter hours and the higher family expectations and needs a little bit more motivation to focus on writing, to use this challenge and come along with me on this journey to hopefully finish our books before Christmas. Ultimately, I just want this to be an event where we're all rallying around each other and encouraging each other and talking about our milestones and our checkpoints and all racing towards the same finish line together. In the same way that we kind of got in Nano, where we all had a set goal and it was just a time of community support. At least that was my experience by and large with Nano. I know that in the end it deviated from that, but when I think of Nano, I think of just the wonderful support and the community it spawned, and that's kind of what I was hoping to make Finish Your Book Fall. So if you want to join that community, if you want to be part of it, even if you just want to encourage me as I undertake this challenge, I would so appreciate it. Community support and community expectations and pressure actually motivates me more than anything else. So you guys are a big part of it, whether you like it or not. What does that mean for me? What will I be doing during this challenge? Well, first of all, my goal is to finish my book. More specifically, I'm trying to finish the second draft of my current work in progress, which is Seekers of Empyrean, which is a Monster of the Week inspired urban fantasy. Again, if you've been following my channel for a while, you probably already heard all of that spiel, and you will know that I started the second draft at the end of June, got off to a really hot start, and then crashed and burned as I bottomed out mentally. And in a way, this challenge is trying to get me back on track so I can get this knocked out by the end of the year. I am just about 35,000 words in, and my aim is to get to 120,000 words for the draft, which leaves me currently, as I'm filming this, 85,000 words to go. My hope is to knock out 10,000 words between now, September 8th, and September 22nd, when this challenge officially starts, which will leave me 75,000, which means I would have to do 25,000 words per month to get to the end. See how the math is working out? So 75,000 words in 3 months, not super taxing, especially considering that Nano was 50,000 words in 1 month. Definitely doable, definitely within my capabilities. But again, I am someone where if I don't have that external pressure, if I don't have something motivating me to hit my deadline, I'm not gonna hit it. I'm just gonna leave it because I am used to disappointing myself and it doesn't really carry the same weight. So to keep myself on track, I've got a couple of different ideas. First, I would like to do weekly live streams throughout the entire season of fall, starting on September 29th. Yeah, is that 25th? Let's see if this is 22nd, 28, 23, 24, 25, 26. September 26th. My best nights to do live streaming are Friday nights and probably pretty late at night for a lot of people, aiming for around 8 o'clock to get started. Sometimes I may have to push it out even later to like 10 o'clock. That's just the way my schedule works out. So I'm not expecting huge turnouts to these live streams. Like I said, this is more for me to motivate myself to stay on track. But of course, everyone is invited if those timeframes work out for you. I'd love to hang out with you guys and I'll strive towards that big goal of finishing our books. Something else I'm going to try just on a personal level is getting out of the house more to write. I've written both at my local library and at my local cafe, and those both seem to be situationally helpful to get away from my normal space. I worry that if I make it too much of a habit that my brain will start adapting and start distracting myself from doing the work while I'm there. But in the short term, I think getting out there and getting out of my space where I'm surrounded by all the usual distractions would be a good way to do it. I'm also really trying to focus on being more active in the community itself. I mentioned earlier that I'm pretty socially awkward in real time. It's different when I'm talking to a camera because all I can see is my own face, and so it doesn't really feel the same as when I'm engaging with people in real time. But I want to get over that hump, especially if I want to turn this into a yearly event that is open to the community, that does have the organization that I envisioned originally. I'm working through my backlog of AuthorTube videos. I am like 6 weeks behind because I wasn't really watching while I was in my slump. So if you see me liking and commenting on your videos, that is my way of saying, hey, I'm still here, I still support you. But more than that, being more active in the Discord and of course, just trying to participate more in the community. So those are my big 3 goals to help motivate myself and keep myself on target to get to that 120,000 word mark before the end of the year. And that's pretty much it. I really hope that I am not the only one participating in Finish Your Book Fall. But if I am, and thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey anyway. If you do want to participate and you're on AuthorTube, please tag me in your videos, your Finish Your Book Fall videos. If you're on Instagram or Twitter and you're talking about your journey, just use the hashtag Finish Your Book Fall, or we can just chat about it in the comments. I'm open to that too. Anything to motivate us to rally around each other and get that book finished. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe, or consider leaving a comment down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me like the fall leaf emoji for Finish Your Book Fall. In my next video, I don't have a vlog for you because reasons, but instead I am going to be doing a little bit of a seasonal reset in preparation for Finish Your Book Fall. I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.